Hi and welcome to the git-python live development stream. It's Byron speaking, and today we will keep fixing submodules. In the previous session, fortunately, I was able to fix all the submodule tests, and apparently it works on Travis too. So now it's just a few, possibly minor issues that we have to look at. I'm thinking that some of these issues that have been reported here regarding submodules are maybe not even present anymore because they were related to issues with Git file-based submodules that couldn't be handled here. Nonetheless, let's try to reproduce this. I've acknowledged this kind of early because I thought, okay, probably it's related to new style or Git file submodules, and I didn't try it. But I will try to reproduce this now just to be sure I'm on the same page here. And let's do this. Say you add a submodule to a repo by doing git submodule update -- init, and then do git submodule update -- init again to update it. It does not complain, just gives you the same output as before. In git-python, it gives you this error. So I'm thinking that I want to try this with the existing test cases and see if that works, because all he says is, okay, add a submodule using submodule update init. So that's the first thing we try. And then I like to have another test that kind of verifies that we can deal with submodules that have been, or with repositories that have been added or checked out at a certain point, and that should then be added as submodule. So the git file is not used in the moment we add an existing checked out repository, and this should still be working. So I'm just putting this into kind of this ticket here. But first things first, let's check update. So I don't want to use one of the big tests here. I just want to have a look at a smaller test that I can possibly use. So here I add a submodule using git submodule add. That's good, because that's kind of testing it already. And now, oh, there's still to do here. Move and rename, I think that's tested below. Yep, rename we didn't test yet, so I guess we should keep it up. And yeah, just try to update the submodules. There should be just one anyway, so let's do this for init, and I'm going to do this many times, like 2. Okay. So in theory that should fail if we can reproduce this issue here. Just submodule, and then it is test git submodules. Of course. So that works. It appears that the issue doesn't exist anymore. That's good. Well, I guess that is it already about that ticket here. Good. Let's just keep the line for later. Well, maybe this one. So updates seem to work. So the next thing, I'd like to clone a repository into my current parent repository, which means that the Git repository itself will not be a Git file, but just be Git directory. And then I want to add that one as submodule and see if everything still works as it should be. So let's use, let's just clone this one and use it another time. That should be no problem at all. Submodule URL. Let's call it like this. Repo clone. Where do we want to clone it to? Yeah, what is the call again? I forgot. Tell me about it. Here we go. Path, the full path to the new repo. Oh wait, clone from it is. We want to have a class method here. Clone from, then the URL, then the path. Let's call it existing subrepository, which it kind of is. And that should be it already. So that's our clone. Don't I have a repo here? But I have Git. Okay. Git repo. And now with that clone, I would expect that parent create submodule, that this would still work as expected. SM2. Oh yeah, it's actually submodule add. Every time I look that up. So the name and the path it wants. Existing, let's say non-git file. Submodule. The path is the one of our clone. Right there. And that should already be it, because URL doesn't have to be provided if it's already checked out. So I would expect this to work, and then I would of course expect this to be too. Let's see, and then we should be able to do all kinds of operations with that without it failing. For instance, SM2 update should work similarly. Maybe I should put this down here and then just try it on both, just for the fun of it. Like so. Oops. Okay. That could possibly do something useful. Test git submodules. Alright. Needs to be within the parents directory add. Oh, probably I guess that's a create submodule here. Clone working tree there. Which seems to fail. Okay. Submodule checkout path add. Yeah, it's kind of inversed. Then parent repository add. Why is this inversed? It's name and path. Okay. That is a bit odd. Create submodule 292. Yeah, we'll just jump in there. That's definitely not expected. Here we go. Oh, that's a submodule. That's a clone where it fails. Good. That's better. but still better, but still bad. Should be able to figure this out real quick, but for some reason, no, it's in create submodule. Sorry for that. Now it's in repo clone from, what? (639). Oh, sorry. I actually checked it out here because I didn't specify an absolute path. Well, that is bad. Yeah, makes sense though. Let's put it somewhere specifically. So that's parent working tree here. Right here. Okay. Now we should get one step further, even though we have seen that, okay, not only one step further, it actually works. Awesome. So previously it couldn't work because they were indeed not contained within each other. Good. So at least superficially, I would be thinking that this works. Even though we should definitely implement a rename here, because rename is well, different from a move now, and requires us to change the modules as well, but it's a feature. Should I, yeah, I think rename or moving these submodules should just be fine. I don't expect any changes or issues there, but let's try anyway, huh? Yeah, why not? So SM2 now doesn't use a git file for sure, and we shall move it to a different path, like SM2 path plus moved, like so. And assert that this just will work. I think it will. Look at that. Who would have thought that? I wouldn't have. Okay, let's try with SM as well. SM path plus moved. Let's see if that works. Ah, yeah, I think that did work. And SM2 doesn't. So awesome, we've just found a bug. It tries to write the git file even though it's not, you know, it's not necessary. So I think 641, this logic, you know, this needs git file submodules. This is something that we can't say that easily right now. We have to be more precise, because it can be that we do indeed have, you know, we have to basically detect if it's a git file or not, and I think based on this, we should be fine. Needs git file submodules is something we should always use if we clone something new, but not use it if we so here it should be fine, but not use it if we actually manipulate an existing repository, because there we have to figure it out accordingly. So let's have a look where this guy is called, because I just want to be sure. So clone repo is obviously safe. Check out module path. Let's make it a call. Yep, I think we are safe. Once this is fixed, I wouldn't think there are any spots left that possibly make the wrong decisions here. All right, so we should check if it's a git file. And then if so, write the respective module path, or rewrite it, that is. Checking variables. So that's our absolute path, so we just have to check for git file. If this is a git file. I don't like this cur path variable, it's so indescriptive. And of course we want to append the git name here. And there we go. Now we shouldn't run into this kind of issue anymore, and we should be fine for future generations to come. All right, that is fixed. Maybe I should add a failing test just to remind me of implementing the rename. Yeah. I'll just make a quick issue here. I think that's better. All right. So now I can basically remove this and have one less to do in the code. It has to do update a path in the git modules file, but not in the index. It raises. This is where the very oldest test I have. Another one, low prior. Test remaining exceptions. Now it's okay, the code looks right. Yeah, especially the linter says that the code is right. So there are no obvious typos, I mean, which is one important factor at least. Yeah, I guess that should be it. I've verified that this stuff isn't an issue anymore. Fixed a bug in the process, and I wonder if I might have been missing anything. Some hints. It doesn't error, we've clarified that. Okay. Link to the respective line where that is tested. 637. Yeah, I would rather have this thing to point to an actual commit here, but we don't. I mean, I understand why it works as it works, but this, of course, will always be kind of pointing to something else at some point. Anyhow, maybe if I follow this once, I am able to kind of get a link to it that is persistent, because it points to an actual blob. That would be awesome. Yeah. I think putting those links to master, those line links, they don't really make sense at all. Raw, is this also pointing to master? Probably it is. Yep. History. I want a line link to the respective commits. I guess that's how it would work. So now I can go here, go to changed files. Yeah, well, kind of cumbersome, but at least it's now the commit that I was looking for. Oh, it's actually a diff still. Fair enough. I'm sure there are better ways and I'm just not finding it right now. But anyway, that will be a new issue soon. And yeah, let's do the grunt work. Let's run all the tests. Let's do the flake testing. And that works. Awesome. So I guess I can just commit this and be happy about myself. Fixes issue. Well, which one? 93. move. Okay. Well, let's shorten this. Don't throw. All right, that I think should be all that's needed here. Oh, look at that. But possibly it's one of these spurious errors. So let's run the py34 code here. I think that should work. Test git submodule compatibility. Well, I'm not so sure about it anymore, that's for sure. Oh, maybe it doesn't work. So that failure, I mean, maybe I shouldn't run these tests in parallel too. I don't really trust it, but okay. So test submodule. If it happens as well when running it individually, that clearly is something, but this looks more like a daemon error, you know, if this is all scrambled. Oh, look at that. Maybe it is because something else is running here. Man, shows more and more often the spurious multi-threading issue, and now it shows all the time. Well, do I have a stray git daemon running here? No. Can I run it individually and still reproduce the error? I can. Terrific. So what? 683. Cool. I might have found another issue. Maybe I broke it. Maybe I actually broke it by checking if it's a file. Because that, you know, is somehow wrong. Oh, because I rename it, of course. My bad. I have to use this path now because I just renamed the working tree directory, the checkout, and then I look for a git file that I have to rewrite. Yeah, well, that is better. That was close. Thank you very much, Test Suite, for protecting myself against stupidity. And again, spurious error. It's annoying as hell. I can't have it. How do I fix this? Except for using Python 3, which uses a different code branch that doesn't have this issue, obviously, because it uses poll instead of threads that pump or that read the lines. I don't know. Sometimes I have the feeling that it's something within Python maybe that mixes up some buffers if there are multiple threads accessing them at the same time. Currently, I don't, for good reason, don't lock the resources because there's one thread per process output channel, like std out, std error. So they shouldn't interfere with each other ever. But I have the feeling that still happens for some reason. Anyway, that seems to work now. I shall push and get back to the next issue then. Thanks for watching and have a good day.